Hi everyone, so you would have heard that Iran has attacked the US and the US bases in Iraq, and this has led to gold jumping past the 1600 mark. So, what happens next? Like, you as an investor, what do you have to consider? Well, firstly, you have to consider whether this current conflict is going to end, and I don't think it's something that's going to end anytime soon because that no matter what, that tension's kind of there. But we have to consider, is this going to escalate? So first, US killed one of their generals, Soleimani, and then it's quite normal for a response because like if Iran didn't respond, it's a sign of weakness, and the US could potentially just keep attacking them in other areas if they wanted to. So Iran had to respond no matter what. They've sent a range of missiles there, but it hasn't killed anyone. So you got to consider that. Maybe Iran's just saying we have to retaliate, but possibly just to show that we're not fearful, but we're not going to kill anyone. So they sent a lot of missiles, hit the US base, destroyed a lot of buildings. Of course, the US was probably a bit aware of it, that if you've got a base that's quite close to Iran, it's potential targets, so people will be evacuated. So the question is, was it Iran that held back, or were the US just much more diligent and they've evacuated everyone, and there's been no casualties? Because the minute there's one US casualty, that's possible war, because the US will take out more more people in Iran. Because like right now, if the US respond and took out more casualties, US is looking bad. But if Iran killed one US person, that's a green light for the US to just attack full out if they wanted to, and that could potentially mean war, and it potentially mean this gold price shoots even further upwards. I think currently it should, keep going slowly upwards, up and down, but that 1600 level, it's been breached. I think it's going to just stay around there until tensions calm. If people expect war, they don't want to be putting their money into companies, because companies do not hold their value when there's a crisis, when there's war. Company stocks tend to get sold down, so expect company stocks to be sold down this week. As much as it's not ideal for anyone, not ideal for you, not ideal for me. But as investors, we have to consider, what do we do next? So you don't have to buy gold per se. You could always buy a company that mines gold. So for me, that's more my preference. Like, I'd rather buy companies that will mine gold, and that's the thing. If you look at the markets, the ones that are doing well is the gold miners. Like, if you look at the gold miners in this week, a lot of the companies around it will be going down, but gold miners will be going up because the price is going up. So it makes it so much more profitable for these guys to continue to mine even more gold. So that's possibly a company you want to, you probably want to include some gold miners in your portfolio, just as a hedge. I don't like to buy gold per se, like gold as a commodity in my portfolio, but I wouldn't mind a gold company. Of course, you have your preferences. You might just prefer gold because you go like, oh well, there's no good gold company with a good management team, so fair game. But for me, I'll probably start looking at a few gold companies. I might start adding a few in my portfolio, because as long as this tension is there between the US and Iran, there's a possibility of war. And if that possibility exists, there's a lot of people with a lot of money that don't want it in the stock market. They don't want, they've seen enough. When there's crisis, company prices go down, and it's not friendly at all. And no one likes seeing their money just go down in value. So gold is a safe haven. I would look at gold for sure. I wouldn't say you have to go all gold, but I'd look at putting a little bit of gold into your portfolio, whether it's gold commodity or gold or companies that produce gold. Um, yeah, that's potentially what you want to consider, because I guarantee you a lot of people are thinking about taking their money out of the market currently until turmoil's kind of just like things just calm down. Because like most people are considering that if there's a war, businesses won't want to expand. They might not want to invest that much. A lot of people will be pulling back on their spending. Um, it just doesn't. War just doesn't boost investor confidence. It just doesn't boost. It doesn't boost consumerism. Peace is good because peace allows everything to just flourish. Because people can do what they like, they can put as much investment out there, they can take on a large amount of debt, because they know that people, are just going to keep spending. But the minute, crisis hits, people will start to pull on their wallet strings and spend a lot less. And when people are spending on less, the economy tends to contract a bit. Um, so of course we want to see what the things are happening. Like, is the US going to retaliate after this strike? Is Iran going to do even more things? Which will, that's kind of what we're waiting on. In the meantime, I don't think you can go too wrong with investing in a gold company. I don't have any gold companies in mind right now, but if I do, I'll make a video on that, and that could potentially be something that you might be interested in. Of course, for me, I'm always a growth investor. Like, I have to if the company's not growing, um, and it's not producing great profits, then it's probably not on my list. So I'd only make a video of a gold company that I think is making good growth, making good profits, and that is at a reasonable valuation. So I'm not going to recommend anything that's of bad value. That's If I wouldn't invest in it, I wouldn't expect you to invest in it. So until next time, I'll have a look at what's out there. But I think, given the price of gold, like at the end of the day, the cost to mine gold is already set. Not much is changing to the price of mining gold. But if you can mine it at a certain cost and then sell it at even higher cost, which is why this is beautiful. If you're in a gold miner right now, you're in a good spot, because that just means you're gonna make super profits. Let's put in this scenario, right? If this was 1,300, right? And a gold producer, it cost them $1,000 to produce the gold. If they sold it for $1,000, and then they got 1,300. Say 1,300. That's $300 that they can use for any other expenses, and that will contribute to the profit. Okay, so now we consider the current price, and we go, at the end of the day, that $1,000 to produce that gold didn't change. It did not change. What changed is the price of gold, the price they can sell it at. If they can all of a sudden, it wasn't that long ago that gold was at 1,300, and then now that it's at 1,600, that extra $300 goes right to the bottom line, because even, they were already able to cover their cost basis. So when you have something like this, it's all profit. So this is what I mean. You're going to have all these gold companies being super profitable than they already were. So that's why, gold is definitely something to think about, particularly in this kind of situation where you've got a US election. Donald Trump's looking a bit desperate to give himself a reason, give people a reason to continue to let him stay in. So he's trying to put in tensions because peace. If there's peace, no one cares about Trump because they don't think they need him. But if there's war, then he's going to get his side of the voters, and he's going to say, you guys need to keep me in so I can continue fighting the good fight or whatnot. So you think about George Bush when he was doing Iraq, he got a second term out of that. So Trump is also trying to play a similar play. He's going to possibly start war with Iran. For me, I don't think this is the end of it. If nothing happens out of this, I can guarantee there's still something that's going to happen with Iran. Trump's not going to let this go. Trump sees this as his second term, card. So we will see how things go, but don't forget gold. But let me know what you think, because you might have a different perspective and say gold's terrible. Invest in something else. Can't go wrong with Tesla right now. Tesla's just doing amazing things. So, hey, invest either in the future or in a safe haven.